There you are, in your living room, sitting, minding your own business, just being a law abiding citizen, doing your best to make it in this country, and a group of 100 plus criminal aliens beat down your door, push past you when you try to stop them, and set up shop in your living room. That sounds like an attack to me, maybe even an invasion on your home and your property. But this is what's been going on every single day at the border under Joe Biden's regime. If the Texas National Guard and those walls weren't there, what was the plan of these criminal aliens? It's just to sprint right into the country, just keep running right into the country. And hey, Joe Biden and his administration might even put them on a bus or a plane and flown or drove them to a city near you to be your new neighbors. Seems every single day a new video comes out from the southern border. Just absolutely horrifying seeing thousands of criminal aliens enter the country every single day. This has been going on for 3+ years, all right? Things aren't getting bad. Things are bad. They've been bad, all right? We have gone off the deep end with this, and Joe Biden and his administration have no plans of stopping any of this. This is exactly what they want. It's so bizarre the way CNN covers this. New video shows migrants rushing portion of border fence. No, it's a video of criminal aliens invading the United States. If you thought that video of people illegally breaking into the country was bad, well, let's look at what some of their plans to do in this country are. This is an extremely disturbing video that came out from Libs of TikTok a few days ago. Let me play it for y'all.
Mi gente, he pensado invadir una casa en United States, ya que me enteré que existe una ley que dice que si una casa no está habitada, podemos expropiarla. Capichi, muchachos, aquí en United States también se aplica la de invasión de terreno. Y creo que ese será mi próximo negocio. Invadir casas abandonadas, ya que me he buscado unos códigos con mis amigos africanos y me dijeron que ya llevan como 7 casas expropiadas. Y como dice el dicho, papi, hay que buscar la vuelta. Y la vuelta ahorita mismo es invadir casas, ya que nos encontramos en situación de calle y es la única manera que tenemos para no vivir en la calle y no ser una carga pública. Capichi, la ley dice que las casas abandonadas, deterioradas y que esté en mal estado, podemos llegar y repararlas, vivir en ellas y si podemos venderla, hasta pedir créditos con ella. ¿Qué dicen ustedes?
Doesn't that just absolutely make your blood boil that these criminal aliens disregard our laws, illegally break into the country, and feel so emboldened and empowered that they can go on social media and brag that they have stolen 7 houses and plan to do more and is encouraging people to do the same thing? All right. You're a law abiding citizen. You work hard to afford a house. All right. Vast majority of Americans, especially Gen Z, cannot afford a house with these prices due to the economy. And these people come in, say, hey, we can just squat in this house, steal it, even sell it back to you for money. The federal government has very, very few responsibilities it actually should have, and one of them is protecting states from invasion. Well, the Biden administration is a rogue administration who is facilitating the human trafficking of millions, tens of millions actually, of criminal aliens into your country, while they will give them benefits all while you suffer. The reason I bring up that video is because of this article right here. Shocking moment, New York City homeowner is put in handcuffs and shameless squatters are allowed to stay after tense standoff at her $1 million home. This woman was gifted a home by her mother after she passed in her will, and she went to go check on it one day. The locks were changed and she found people living in it illegally. This woman, Adele, inherited her family's property in Flushing, Queens, and was hoping to sell it, but she was stopped dead in her tracks when squatters moved in last month. The strangers had changed the locks and replaced the front doors. In New York City, squatters' rights are granted after just 30 days of occupancy. By the time that someone does the investigation, it will be well over 30 days, and that man will have stolen my house. This is proving everything I said. This is my furniture. These are my curtains, she said, pointing. They've called the police on me, and I've called a locksmith. She said, "We didn't come in illegally. The door was open." Police arrived and began interviewing the men. When asked to show documentation showing that they have been there for more than 30 days, the men were unable to provide proof. The man who claimed to have moved in 2 days earlier was taken into custody while police escorted the other man as he lugged a suitcase down the street. Minutes after police left, another man identified as Brian Rodriguez shoved his way inside, accompanied by one of the squatters who had already been taken off the property. Rodriguez offered to leave if the woman reimbursed him for the work allegedly done on the house, and she was eventually arrested for changing the locks, which is illegal under New York City's illegal eviction law. These people weren't tenants, all right? They weren't paying any bills. They were stealing this woman's house, and the police come and arrest her. This is where the country is going, all right? This is what Joe Biden wants, all right? These police are evil. They are disgusting human beings. In the video, we see they go up to the squatters and they say, "Hey, do you have any proof?" They're begging, "Do you have any proof that you've been here for 30 days?" Because they don't want to kick him out. All right. They wouldn't arrest these burglars. That's what they are. They're not squatters. They're burglars. They have broken into this lady's home and stolen it. And as soon as the lady changes the locks, the rightful owner of this house, they take her away in handcuffs. New York City has had rampant violent crime going on, and do they do anything about it? No, they go after the law-abiding citizens who are just trying to live their lives. We see how the police treated a law-abiding citizen and squatters. Well, I'll give you another example of why the police in New York City is absolutely trash. Suspects in case of body parts found scattered across Long Island, freed without bail. 4 people charged in connection to severed body parts found scattered across Long Island have been freed without bail, according to Suffolk County Executive Ed Romaine. This is outrageous and completely unacceptable in a civilized society, wherein our prosecutors are handcuffed and those charged with this heinous crime are mandated to go by the state to go free, a statement from Romaine read. Last Thursday, a student discovered a severed arm of a 53-year-old man at the eastern end of Southard's Pond Park in Babylon. Police said more body parts belonging to the man and a 59-year-old woman were also found in the park, according to authorities. By Wednesday morning, 4 suspects, Stephen Brown, 44, Jeffrey Mackey, 38, Amanda Wallace, 40, and Alexis Nieves, 33, were charged with concealment of a human corpse, hindering prosecution, and tampering with physical evidence. In the courtroom, prosecutors said the 4 defendants hacked the 2 bodies to pieces in a home on Railroad Avenue in Amityville. They said the house was uninhabitable after investigators searched the plumbing for blood and other evidence. Sources indicate the crimes were not gang related. Less than an hour after being arraigned, all 4 suspects were released from custody without bail. New York City is officially an absolute hellhole. Violent crime is on the rise. Tens of thousands of criminal aliens are flooding there, and they have to deploy the National Guard to the subway to check people's bags. All right, they'll check a little old lady's bags with an automatic rifle 5 feet from her face. Yet they won't do a single thing about the criminal aliens and the real violent criminals that are affecting law-abiding citizens. Think back to when you were younger. Actually, not even when you're younger, just a few years ago, just 4 or 5 years ago. Could you ever imagine having to have a National Guardsman with an automatic rifle search your bag just to go on the subway? Well, that's Joe Biden's America. We have criminals emboldened to commit more crimes because they know they won't get in trouble, and you have law abiding citizens absolutely terrified. What happens if you try to defend yourself or others from these violent criminals? Well, you have absolutely corrupt DAs like Alvin Bragg and Letitia James who will throw the whole book at you. Jordan Neely did not deserve to die that day, but when you have police protect criminals and not law abiding citizens, vigilantes will eventually come up, and that's the last thing we want. We don't want people taking justice into their own hands. The police are there to supposed to protect you. The lawyer representing the Neely family said outside the court his clients are still suffering and still in pain. Well, they care now that he's dead, but they couldn't give a crap about him to get him off the streets, get him off the drugs, and get him the help he needs. But it's only after he dies that they care. Justice has not been served yet, but we're holding on to the belief that justice will be done in this case, Attorney Lennon Edwards said, adding that the family hopes the public gets a view of what Daniel Penny really was that day. Well, I would love the public to get a view of what Jordan Neely really was that day. All right, the lawyer goes on. He was the dangerous one. On that day, Daniel Penny was judge, jury, and executioner, and we're expecting that when this trial starts, he'll be facing a judge, a jury, and a sentence. Kenneth took umbrage at those statements, charging. It was Jordan Neely that threatened to take life that day on the train, which was absolutely true. It was Jordan Neely who told a mother and her young child who were cowering behind a stroller that he was ready to go to prison for the rest of his life if he didn't get to take what he wanted. The Post he told the Post, if anybody went in there with the intent to play jury, judge, and executioner, it sure as hell wasn't my client. Penny, a former infantry squad leader, was indicted on charges of second-degree manslaughter and criminal negligent homicide for the caught on camera lightning rod May 2023 confrontation that left Neely dead on the floor of a Manhattan F train. Penny's attorneys have tried to get the case dismissed in October, claiming that there were issues with the prosecutor's instructions to the grand jury and that the city's medical examiner never conclusively established that Penny's actions killed the homeless man during the struggle. A former Michael Jackson impersonator, Neely had a lengthy history of mental illness and was allegedly threatened other strap hangers before Penny stepped behind him and sunk the chokehold that eventually killed him. Penny has said that he didn't mean to do it, but he thought he needed to step in and shield his fellow subway riders from Neely, who witnesses say was tossing trash and screaming that he was willing to kill a mother effer and go to jail. This rhetoric from Mr. Neely was very frightening. It was harsh, a witness previously told the Post. Edwards, the family's attorney, said Wednesday that Neely was riding the train unarmed and was asking for food that day. No, it sounded like he was threatening to kill people and wasn't afraid to go to jail. He had no gun, he had no knife, he was hungry, Edwards said. In his desperation, he was emotional, but distress does not mean dangerous. He sounded pretty violent when he was threatening to take the lives of people. Oh, that's not an excuse that he was hungry. When I get hungry, I don't threaten to kill people. It's the inverted world where criminals are protected by the police and law abiding citizens are terrified to do anything because they know if they try to protect themselves because the police won't, they'll be thrown in jail. Let me know you guys' thoughts on this. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching.